Perfect. Well, I'll go ahead and kick this off. So just so everyone knows, we decided to do this in a Telegram voice chat first. That way we wouldn't double up the audio with like a YouTube live stream. So we'll record it here and then we'll quickly get it posted on YouTube. So if you're folks who like to watch your content on YouTube, it will be available there in the next hour, hour and a half. So immediately following the voice chat. And if you're listening in now, we'll have the audio on here, obviously, but we'll also be doing a screen share here in a moment. So we'll have that availability on whatever platform you choose, but let's get everything started up. So first off, honored to be able to be one of the hosts of the AMA. Thank you for the team for reaching out and asking if we'd like to do it. I'm Scott the Investor. Obviously been in the community and in the space for quite a while. So hopefully you guys are familiar with my YouTube channel and some of my content. I'm co-hosting this with Lee Cryptopian. So he's on, he might be asleep, but I'll allow him to kind of jump on and talk a little bit. He likes to talk. He's a Brit.
Yeah. Hello everyone. Most of you know me, but if you don't, my name's Lee. I'm based in England in the UK and been in crypto since 2021. And most of it has been DeFi. I do dabble in Bitcoin and Ethereum, but the majority is DeFi. And now obviously committed to awesome opportunity with the team over at SwapX, which is, you know, those who remember PancakeSwap when that first started, you know, this is for me the one. So I'm super excited to hear what the team have got to say, what Scott's got to say. We've got some questions. And yeah, thanks for being here. I appreciate it all, and I'll go back to napping.
Fantastic. Well, thanks for chiming in, buddy. If you guys know us, Lee and I are great friends. We've got a protocol and stuff like that together, so we talk daily. So it's nice to be able to co-host this from across the pond. But let's get into it a little bit. Guest of honor today, of course, is BB, one of the main founders, obviously, of SwapX. And he knows it better than anyone, so who better to speak to it? So I want to welcome him on the voice chat today. He's going to be the one sharing all the alpha and getting us down the road closer to SwapX and the official launch. So super excited to have you, BB, and was wondering if you would intro yourself real quick, just something short and sweet, and then maybe give us a little bit of an overview of what SwapX is.
Scott, hey, yeah, thank you for having me as well. And yeah, you know, most of the community knows me. I'm a developer and the co-founder of SwapX. I was part of numerous bigger projects on BSD that were quite successful. And, you know, right now with Ricky, we are co-founding SwapX to build a next generation DEX. And we're very excited to be working on this project, you know, and I think what we're building is going to be a game changer, and it's going to be something that people haven't seen before. And we're going to be bringing a lot of new features and innovation to it that I think is really going to make a difference, and that I think we're going to be seeing many other DEXs are going to be copying from us, maybe. But yeah, so regarding SwapX, SwapX is our new project, and this is the next generation DEX designed to be the primary hub for native liquidity on Xlayer. And as everybody knows, Xlayer is the chain, the ZK-L2 network that's powered by the OKB token. It's also built using the Polygon CDK. And this is, you know, built by OKX itself. And OKX is one of the biggest exchanges in the world. I think right now they're still number 3. So when we're looking regarding users and the community that they could potentially bring in and the volume, we're very, very excited. And also the technical features that the chain will offer is going to be very exciting. So our DEX also, you know, we're building with Algebra Finance. Algebra Finance is providing us with the core DEX functionality, and this is also built on V4 technology. So this is going to be the future of DEXs, is this V4 technology, and as we know, like Uniswap is also getting ready to implement this. And some of the other DEXs, the big DEXs like PancakeSwap, is already switching to this V4 DEX technology. And with the plugin functionality that it offers, it's just going to be bringing in many new exciting possibilities on chain for these dexes. Also, we're also having the V33 tokenomics model. So this also is a way to attract users and to bring big incentives for users to provide liquidity. I won't get into the details of all the V33 mechanics because it's quite, it takes a little bit of studying to do that. But it's a very, very strong, proven model, and many of the big dexes are using the similar model to provide incentives for users to provide liquidity on their DEX. And, and then we have the regular DEX features, which is, concentrated liquidity, and then also automated liquidity management, which will be done with our partner, the Ichi Foundation. And, we're working very close with them to provide the best user experience to everybody.
Love it. Yes, super exciting. So for those of you who might have missed that quick tidbit, OKX is the third largest DEX or centralized exchange rather on the planet right now. So if you think of how big Binance is or how big Coinbase is, it's got tens of millions of active users. So a lot of those folks are utilizing that as a centralized exchange. But now that there's the Xlayer is available, they're going to need a go-to decentralized exchange to be able to go do all the things that he was talking about, concentrated liquidity pools, which we're super interested in, and different types of staking and swaps and stuff. There needs to be a pancake swap or a Uniswap for that Xlayer. So we're super excited to see that launch. I couldn't be more excited for this one because I really do think that Xlayer is going to have some capabilities that maybe some of the other chains don't necessarily have. And so I think the focus will start to shift over there and it will start to get a lot of traction, which of course means transaction volumes are increasing a lot. But I'll let Lee speak to why he's excited about this one as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for that, BB. Appreciate the feedback on what you've just said. And Scott, obviously, me and you talk about concentrated liquidity a lot. It's kind of our job at the moment. And I think I have delved into V3.3, V33, sorry. And it's so bullish that when it's implemented into a DEX like SwapX will be, or what I imagine it to be, then it gives us a serious opportunity in not only onboarding new users, but in bringing the users that we already talk to on a daily basis, who are providing liquidity in multiple farms and multiple chains. And the thing I'm most excited about is the fact that not only do we have a new place to provide liquidity, it's a new chain, there's lots of users, there's a new place for the centralized people to move over to a DEX, but we've also got a massive community of people who are ready to add liquidity like right now. If it was open now, we'd all be piling in. So I'm super excited about the way that the team have implemented the 3.3 mechanics. Obviously, as founders, I've got my founders t-shirt on now. I'll share a picture of that again in the group. It's exciting for us, but not just that. It's exciting for anyone that, DeFi has been a little bit sort of, I don't want to say boring in the last few months and maybe over a year, but now we've got SwapX, the branding, the team behind it, the community that are flowing in. It gets me excited on multiple levels, not just on one particular part of the platform or the ecosystem. I just think, there's going to be lots of us who want to swap. There's lots of us who want to delve into new chains. And I think with BB and the team looking after us, we have more confidence in moving our liquidity to a very new chain, whereas normally you'd probably think, let's let other people do it. Whereas now we can be at the forefront of bringing that liquidity over and show the whole world what a community we've got. And I think the way that the community has built itself up is only a testament to the team and how they have conducted themselves in the previous things that have done. So I think I'm most excited about the team, what they've built, and what I imagine it to be as not only a founder but as a user of the platform itself.
Yeah, it should be really exciting as this thing gets launched. I know when the NFT raise really came out, SwapX started getting talked about, and things started to progress. I at least for us, we were a little unsure. Like, it's a new chain. How much traction is it going to get? How much community support is it going to get? And then you guys launched the NFT raise, and everything sold out almost immediately. So the hype train, paid off big time, and it was probably even greater than expected. So that was amazing. And then it's been very quiet since. So I know you guys have been diligently working in the background since the raise. So hopefully, BB, you get a chance to talk a little bit about rolling out of the success of the raise, and then what have you guys been doing over the last little while to get this thing up off the ground?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, absolutely right. And, this is the first MA that we've done since the fundraising, and I kind of want to just revisit that moment also a little bit. We're very excited that when we did the raise, that it performed as we did. I mean, obviously it was beyond our expectations, and the pace at which it sold out was just absolutely incredible. But this has also been a very good selling point for us when we're discussing with partners, to all the projects that we're in contact with, when we present ourselves and we present the way the pre-sale went, it's just been really amazing, and the partners that we work with are very impressed with the community and how well everything went. So I think we did $1 million in less than 4 minutes, and it sold out in under 2 hours. And I mean, just with that level of engagement, and that's just within our current communities. This is not the communities that are still coming, from outside.
Yeah. It's not including it's not really including anyone that is going to come from OKX, so which is a massive community. This is just our small community. And
that is just one, OKX is just one of our major partners. There are multiple other ones, I can't discuss them right now, but there are multiple other partners that are bringing also their communities and their liquidity over to our DEX, which is going to be really massive. And we have been really, really busy. I know the team, everybody has just been working at this every single day, all hands on deck to work on the project, to get the code out, to work with our partners to set up agreements and partnerships. So I mean, everybody has just been really busy, and everything's been going actually really well. Like, at the moment, we do not have any major blockers or problems, and everything is progressing. And we're not at the finish line just yet, but everything is well on its way. The train is on the tracks, and we are heading for the home run. We're well on our way to the home run.
Sounds good.
I also want to, bring up something. Lee, maybe it's time for you to go nap now, It's
That's fine. I'm lying back, baby. I'm ready.
It's finally time to
we'll maybe to sing you a lullaby or something, but for the X NFT holders, we are bringing something. We are bringing something exclusive to them, since it is an exclusive community of founders for the community. So, Scott, maybe it's time to share what we have available.
Yep. Let me pop up the screen here. So here's the alpha for you guys. Super excited they were able to share it with us today. So let me get this going. 1 sec. Everybody let me know if they can see that.
Yes. There we go.
Perfect. Okay. First off, this looks amazing. I'm just super excited about this. It's just absolutely incredibly clean design, and hopefully everyone's excited to be seeing this because it's it just, the aesthetics of it all just get me super excited. I'm kind of a look and feel type of guy, so I really like the aesthetics of protocols to look nice, and this just looks outstanding. So great job. I know Ricky and you guys worked really hard on this.
Yeah, no, it looks, our designers really, it's really one of the best. And I mean, everything he's touched and worked on has just been absolutely incredible. And I think this design, it matters, right? It's not just about the technology. It's the user experience and the way that you feel when you visit the website, the way it feels when you're interacting with it. And I think, that's also one of our main areas of focus, is to have this intuitive, quick UI that, when you go there, you just want to come back. You don't even think about going anywhere else. It just feels good when you use it, and everything just works. But so, if we're just going to go through this page very quickly, very briefly, at the top, we have the headline X NFT staking, and we have some dummy text for right now there, but there we will be describing everything, and we'll give like a short description of the page, and also providing a link to our documentation where everybody can get the in-depth explanation of everything. So also, if we go down a bit, that's where things get interesting. You'll find some statistics related to the earnings for the X NFT stakers. There we have the APR calculation, last epoch's earnings, and your total earnings, or the total earnings there. Hopefully the figures do look like that, where it's like $500,000. So that would really be great.
Definitely.
We have, again, this great graphic down there that draws attention. You also have just below that, a quick overview of your X NFT position. So it shows how many of the NFTs are staked, how many you have in your wallet, how many you have staked, and how much you have to claim. And yeah, as you can see, you have those very, very simple and intuitive buttons. To the right there, we have a link for users to purchase additional NFTs, which will be on one of the OKX NFT marketplaces.
Amazing. Okay.
Yeah. Let me also just have a look. Yeah. No, as you can see, everything just looks and feels great. And then if we go down a bit, you can get an overview of your entire NFT collection. So I personally really like this because I feel it's kind of like, it's like your own little art wall. And right now, you have the question mark, but when users are going to be minting, you'll see your actual NFT, and you'll get like a really cool graphic in that position. So I think it's also just going to be something cool to have. I mean, it's like your own little collection from which you're earning, and it looks good. So I
definitely, it'll kind of be like your artistic portfolio. So each one will add into what your financial portfolio is, but it'll also have that art style NFT that we've all grown to love. So very cool.
Yeah, and I mean, whoever's going to be lucky enough to have the platinum NFTs there, I mean that's just going to be incredible. I mean, I think whoever is going to get that NFT is going to be really lucky and very happy. As everybody remembers, we have these 3 tiers. We have the platinum tier, we have the gold tier, and we have the rainbow NFTs. Mm-hmm. And for each tier, you get a different airdrop. For platinum, it was 10,000 tokens. For gold, it was 5,000, and for rainbow, it was 328. So when the minting will occur, then these random NFTs will be allocated at the time. So that's also going to be a very big, exciting event to look forward to. To see who's going to be platinum and who's going to be gold.
Definitely, yeah. So the minting will be exciting. So what will happen is we'll go in here. Everyone will be able to mint their NFTs, see which ones they got, and then sometime after that, they will be airdropped the amount of tokens that was associated with the NFT. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. As is, yeah.
Awesome. And those will come over as SwapX tokens.
Yes, correctly.
Okay,
correct,
perfect.
Yep. But the details we also discussed on the last AMA, and it's also in our documentation. So these tokens will be only 60% will be available at launch, and then 40% of those tokens will have a cliff of 2 epochs, and then based daily, linearly for 90 days. So there isn't like this immediate huge supply at launch, right? Otherwise,
massive supply, big sell off. Yeah.
Yep. So we are taking care of the tokenomics, of course.
Absolutely. I think I won't speak for everyone, but I'll speak for a lot of us. I know a lot of us see the potential in the price action of the SwapX token over time, and a lot of us aren't going to be rushing to sell our SwapX tokens, and much rather stake them and let that build over time, because I think the platform is going to get continued traction. One really great thing about this is since the Xlayer just launched, this is going to be new and fresh, and having a DEX that's this high quality is going to help. But B, we're also rolling directly into a bull market, hopefully. So the timing behind that of people wanting to go out and identify what the new hot chain is and where the money-making opportunities are, I think are going to lean heavily in our favor.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I couldn't agree more. And I mean, if we're looking at, if I was looking for any comparison, I would kind of look at something like base chain, which I mean, as I believe base chain recently absolutely exploded, and the numbers that's happening over there are just astounding. So I am looking for that as reference once Xlayer really gets going.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, so if we go down a bit more, we have another section regarding the royalties. And, as it says there, that the original minters will earn 3% of secondary sales, and they will be able to claim this year. Again, a very simple claim button. Very simple for everybody.
Okay, perfect.
And then like we discussed before regarding the airdrop, this is where users will be able to claim their airdrop. It also says there, the claimable earnings, how much you've already claimed and how much you have left. So this is again very intuitive. Everybody can see this at a glance, what exactly their positions are.
Gotcha. Extremely easy to read.
Yep. And then one of the last sections was this emission bonus. So this was a change that we made to route more of the rewards for the XNFT stakers, and then they will be able to claim this year. This is just going to be another reward for the XNFT stakers. So,
gotcha. And the way I understand
how many claim buttons can you have? I mean,
right.
They should add one big claim button, right? But
it's amazing. I mean, it's amazing. I like it because it bridges the gap. For me, I'm kind of a financial person, so for me, it bridges the gap between traditional finance and then also the cool parts of what decentralized finance have for you. So, looks very clean. Everything's it's got the data. I don't need to go to 8 other sites to try to aggregate the data of where my positions are, or what percentage I'm at, or what I've claimed and what I haven't. So, I really like that. As far as this emissions bonus, from the way I understand it, is you guys have just made a choice to allow people to get a little bit more of a bonus during that initial 12 epochs. So it just really leads people to ROI faster. Is that correct?
Correct. And, I believe, during the first 12 epochs, we will see significant volume. So this is also just a way to increase those rewards, that would otherwise be directed to the treasury. But, I believe, the treasury will always be the long term. We are not in a big rush to build up our treasury. We're more than happy to play it, the long sustainable way. We're willing to go that way. So this first 12 epochs, we want to divert more rewards to the founders and the XNFT stakers.
Gotcha. Okay. So you're basically saying, hey, thank you guys for putting your trust in us and giving us your capital while we continue to build this thing out and really go live. And in rewarding you for that, we're going to give you some additional cash up front to help you basically get paid back for the money you put up and just reward you for being one of the founders. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's fantastic.
Exactly.
Pretty amazing. I just think, obviously I own 10 of these things. And so I'm super excited to have had the opportunity to even get into those. And I know, the couple thousand other people that got in on this as well are really excited.
Mm-hmm.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
So when this thing launches, you'll come in and you'll really just how will you actually come in and mint your NFTs? You'll just come in and it'll show what you had selected in your wallet, and you'll be able to click mint and mint them.
Yes, I believe so. On this page, as is, you will get these placeholders for for the amount of NFTs that you bought, and then yes, you can individually mint them. I believe there would be functionality to do this all at once, because it doesn't seem very efficient to do this individually.
Gotcha. Okay.
But I'll have to circle back on that regarding the exact functionality. But obviously, you would come here as it's displayed, and you can mint them one by one. Which, I mean, it's kind of going to be a lot of fun. I mean, it's
going to be a lot of fun. I was going to say, if you have a mint all button, that's fine. But if you don't, I think it'll be exciting, especially if you have several, just to be, waiting to see what pops up and see if you got a platinum or a rainbow, or I think it'll kind of add to the gamification.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, whoever's going to be minting those platinums are going to be very happy.
You see, when I used to open trading cards and football cards in the English Premier League, you never used to rip the packet and look at all of them. You used to slowly reveal the next one, see if you got a shiny. So it's like, what am I getting? Am I getting, Alan Shearer from the 90s? And then, so this for me, minting one at a time, it's like, okay, no, next one. Okay, no, next one. So it's super exciting to see, man. I love it.
So BB, if I click on this, is it going to mint it? Can I try it?
I believe so. Let's give it a go. Yeah.
Obviously, it's not it won't be my real NFT, but it did mint it.
Oh, wow.
Wow. That's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, that looks phenomenal. That's very cool. Let's make this my real one. I wanted one of the platinums. This is awesome. Okay, so perfect. So once you come in here, you'll click on that, you'll mint it, and you'll get the excitement of minting all your NFTs and just seeing what they are. Once you've minted it right here, I've minted the NFT, I can close it. Is it already staked, or do I have to actually go in and click and stake each individual one as well?
I believe you're gonna have to stake it afterwards.
Okay.
I don't think the functionality combines it all into one.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think that might be definitely something to consider, that it should automatically stake. But I'm definitely going to discuss that with the team.
Either way, I mean, I know. I know in some cases, like my dad got a couple of NFTs, and he's like, I'm not going to be comfortable with doing clicking all the buttons. So once I mint them, I'm just going to send them to you and you manage them. So it may be difficult, I guess, if you force people to stake them to then maybe unstake and resend to someone else, or move them around, or sell them to add to the NFT market or whatever. So I would definitely understand if it's not an auto stake function.
Yeah, but I mean, I think what, since we're looking at it now, I think it might be a good idea to just add a button right here, right at the mint, to just add like the stake now, because that way, you don't have to go afterwards, go look for the stake button. You just do it right from here. It's
Awesome.
definitely something I'm going to be suggesting to the team.
Gotcha. Perfect. Okay, that was super cool. Oh, nice. All right, so you'll just flip them over. This is cool. I really like it.
Scott's too excited to carry on. Now he's got a platinum. Look.
I know. I got a platinum. I'm ready to stake and start earning. We're excited. It's very cool. Okay. What do you want to roll into next? I know people are going to be pretty excited to mint these things. I don't know if that's something you could give us a hint on.
Yeah. So, the question I've heard, which is when mint, it seems to be one of the big questions. And, at the moment, I can't give an exact timeline. I can't give an exact date just yet. I don't want to get into a position where we confirm a date and then we can't deliver. So, as I was saying before, everything is progressing as it should. And, we just entered the auditing phase, and we submitted a lot of the contracts, the custom contracts also for auditing. And, everything is just on its way. So we are still we're still a while out from actual launch. There are a few other external factors also at play, which are a bit outside of our control. But for the project to be a success, we need to have all these pieces and infrastructure. It's also a big thing with the new chains. It just takes time for partners, for the big players and infrastructure projects to get up on these chains. So we are also dependent on them, but again, we are in close contact with everybody. So, it's just this symphony of everybody having to come together at the right time to make it happen, So the launch is still a while out, not too long, but it is definitely, in the near future. We are definitely, everything is progressing. We are already seeing the results. We're already doing the audits. So everything is moving along.
Yeah, I can imagine it's pretty difficult because this is definitely a little bit more of a complex organism, particularly when you've got other external partners and everything. And I imagine just the audit process alone has got to be pretty difficult to make sure everything's working exactly how it's supposed to be. So it sounds like development's going, just at the right speed for everything to work. I'm interested. You mentioned the potential partners and some of these third-party partners. Can you give us any insight on either who some of those partners might be, or just maybe even in what category and what adjacency they have to us, and how it'll help us as we get this thing launched?
So I don't want to name the big names right now, since this, it's part of the exciting alpha that will be coming. And, we are preparing material to make these announcements. So, regarding partnerships, for a DEX of the scale of the DEX that we want to do, it's critical to have all these partners in place, and there's different kind of partners, right? So you have kind of these partners that provide you with infrastructure, security protocols, routers, aggregators, bridges, cross-chain protocols, aggregators. Aggregate. And also now with the V4 technology, you need to connect with plugin builders. So there's a lot of these partnerships that we work with. And also, like for the V4, for the plugin developers, these are brand new. This is brand new technology, so we have to be extra careful when working with this. Just because this functionality hasn't been, let's say, battle tested on mainnet yet, right? There has been a lot of work done on them, but we don't have years of experience and years of background
Sure, yeah.
seeing this in action. And then also the other major partners are liquidity partner protocols, right? So many of the big liquidity partners, when they want to move to a new chain, they need to find kind of like a home for their token, right? And your DEX has to be set up. Your community has to be there. Your social media, your technology, everything just has to be there for these big protocols to come to you and to make your DEX the home for their token, right? So with our V33 mechanics, we have the mechanics in place to provide incentives for them to come and also just to kickstart the whole process, right? So we can allocate them VE SwapX tokens, which will divert emissions to their tokens, to their pools. And also, when they then bring over their communities, they are incentivizing their communities to vote on their pools. And, that way they're increasing their TVL on this chain, more TVL, more liquidity, easier and cheaper swaps. And it just brings over a lot of new users to a chain, and this is also something that, we're working with OKX with, and they're very, let's say, excited to see the community that we already have and the community that we're looking to bring over. So, at the moment we are in contact with, I think, almost 50 different partners, some big, some small, but all of them are crucial to having a successful DEX.
Yeah, definitely phenomenal. Working with some big players. Lee just sent me this question as you were talking just in the chats. We're just talking about the scope of this project. It doesn't seem at all like what we would consider just a normal DEX that you would spin up. Seems like some of the partners that you're dealing with are, I would say, venture to say maybe some of the bigger names in the DeFi space. And so with those bigger names and with all this at stake, I guess, I'd like to know I think people would like to know what security measures you're adopting to make it perfect. Obviously, you're not rushing it. But yeah, what additional security do we have to make this thing just airtight?
Yeah, absolutely. That's also, one of the things why we can't launch just, by next week is exactly this. The partners that we're working with are very serious regarding security, and they don't take a lot of risks when it comes to this. So we have to be very vigilant and provide absolutely maximum security wherever we can, right? So the main DEX engine, which is the algebra integral part, has already gone through at least 5 audits, and this DEX is also out there being deployed by other DEXs. So the security of that DEX is been tested. At least it's been very, very, very well tested. We are also, like we said earlier, we also just submitted our contracts for auditing. So that is going to be done pretty soon, and then we'll get feedback and develop on that. And also, additionally, we just had a meeting last week with another major security provider, and what they do is actually quite incredible. Like, so they can detect suspicious transactions or malicious contracts even before they are executed, right? So they can detect it at deploy time, which is absolutely incredible. I mean, like, when we're on the meeting with them, I asked them about the technical details about it, and it is just absolutely incredible. And they can almost predict, or not predict, but they can give you a very good indication that there is a security issue coming your way. And, when we're discussing with them how we can implement this. But in a way, how it would work is that, if they notify us that there is a potential security issue, then we can preemptively take action to prevent there being any, loss of funds or malicious action. So, I mean, that company also works with the biggest names in the space. I mean, I know they did quite recently a test with base chain, and I mean, the technology that they provide is absolutely incredible. It's like part machine learning, and we are looking to implement them into our decks as well. And, they will then be able to provide us with this additional layer of security on top of our existing strict security protocols, which is the audits and multi-sigs and all that.
So that's pretty cool when you mention proactive security, because obviously, like you say, you got multi-sig, your own security protocols in place, and then an added layer. So if you're multi-layer in security, that's absolutely brilliant. And I'm sure that's very reassuring to people that have been burned in the past. So that's awesome. So, BB, in terms of your relationship that we assume or know as users to the Xlayer team, now it's officially launched, is there anything that you could possibly tell us about it in terms of, without assuming what their plans are? With your relationship, is there anything that you can talk to in terms of what the plans are and what you intend with that kind of relationship?
Yeah, absolutely. And so their chain did launch, and it is currently up and running, but it's currently in what's called like a stabilization phase. So they are still working on, let's say, bringing the chain to full speed. And the chain as it is currently is functional, but they are also working on some very radical technological advances, which is going to make it extremely competitive compared to other chains, regarding speeds and cost and scalability. They are also, let me just say, they have indicated to us that they are also going to be doing a huge marketing campaign in the near future. So at the moment, it's very, let's say, in construction phase, and then after that will come this big marketing push where they will be starting to bring over those 50 million users that they do have. They are also looking to be implementing something called Xlayer, which is an absolutely brilliant piece of technology that's really going to make a big difference.
Yeah, that sounds phenomenal. I mean, I can't wait to capture their 55 million active users. As far as Xlayer, I'm not, I guess, that technical. If you wouldn't mind, would you share a little bit about what the Xlayer actually is or does?
Sure. So Xlayer is an implementation by Polygon. And, Polygon is one of those, everybody knows Polygon. They're just like huge, and the technology that they have is great. And this Xlayer implementation that they're bringing is going to be one of the next big things in DeFi, right? So right now the problem is, with L2s is that, if I just want to put it simply, like each L2 lives in its own little bubble, right? So everybody has their liquidity, everybody has their projects on their own L2, right? So now when you want to interact with a different project or a different chain, you have to go through that process of bridging, wait for that to happen, and there's just like this huge, how can I say, inconvenience, and also sometimes expensive, where you have to bridge funds over between chains, right? And what this Xlayer does is kind of connect all these L2s. It builds like this highway between all these L2s. And what it allows you to do is to interact from one chain on another one without an additional step, right? It's kind of like you're all on the same chain from the user experience. It's like you're on the same chain, and you don't notice you don't have to do additional swaps or bridging or anything. It just happens, right? So it's kind of like you have everything in once. And this also, solved this issue of having liquidity all scattered across different chains, right? You can just interact from one place to another without any hindrance, So
Gotcha. So
I advise everybody to read about this, because this is really going to be good. And, it is in development right now. But this is something that is coming for Xlayer, and probably a lot of other chains too, And once...
Sounds, I guess the term I would use for it most likely then, as it applies to other things and other spaces, just interoperability. So speaks different languages, can cross chains, smoothly, and they're all interoperable, which is way easier for the end user. And that's obviously one of the biggest issues for users in the crypto space. Is it's hard for them, and the less convenient the user experience is, the slower the adoption is. So it sounds like this would solve a lot of that.
Absolutely. I mean, I think just having to not bridge funds over, or trying to keep track of I'm sure everybody, I'm not sure, but like if you're like on more than 2 or 3 or 4 chains, it's like, it's hard to keep track of everything, right? So if you could just have it all in one, and you can just interact without any problems between chains, I think that's going to be a game changer, really.
Absolutely. Speaking of game changers, Lee has been bugging me to ask this question. I know Ricky in the chats and stuff has mentioned a secret weapon, just like a plugin you guys have been developing on the back end that's going to be pretty amazing. I was wondering if you'd be willing to share any information on what this secret weapon is.
I can't share too much information since it's a secret, like you said, but This is very exciting. I mean, the plugin, I think it's definitely going to be a first. And what the problem that it solves is a problem that is right now applicable to all DEXs. And I think since we're going to be the first one to deploy this, I mean, it's just, once the detail will come out, it will all make sense. But, we're going to be the owner of the plugin, or one of the owners of the plugin, and we'll have like this exclusive period to use it for SwapX. And, that's going to mean everybody is going to have to come to us to use this plugin. And it's just going to be bringing in a ton of fees, and earnings for the users on the DEX. This idea came from one of the DeFi growth managers of Xlayer, right? So this guy is extremely knowledgeable, and he's seen this issue with on all these DEXs, So we're working very close with him and Ricky to bring this idea into the space. And the plugin has been developed already, and right now it's undergoing, let's say, like checks and testing, and then it's going to be audited. And we will be there's already an article ready to be published on that, but we'll probably have like a dedicated AMA to explain this, because I think it's going to be really exciting for that.
Man, that does sound exciting. So let me just get the understanding then. So the guy over at Xlayer kind of had an idea. It was his brainchild, and then you folks have just been collaborating on developing it. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, he noticed this insufficiency, right? There's this problem, again, once the details are released, it's such an obvious problem that all these DEXs have. And, he was looking, he described this problem to us, and, we worked together to solve this problem. But since we're going to be, we're going to have this exclusivity on this plugin at the start, it's just going to be, I think it's, like I said, it's going to be really exciting. But I don't want to run away with it just yet. I mean, when the details are ready, we'll let you guys know. But this is definitely one of the things I'm looking forward to, because I mean, this is just going to be brand new, and I think it's going to make noise.
Sounds phenomenal, and it's one more iron in the fire for SwapX as a platform. So, just ideally, the more people we can bring in from different avenues and different areas of the crypto space, the better, right? You got to find a way to merge 100 different communities. And so each of these little pieces, including the Xlayer, which sounds like a phenomenal way to get more user adoption, sounds awesome. So I can't wait for that article. When's that article supposed to drop? I mean, a couple weeks, couple months? What are you thinking there?
I can't tell you right now. Right now. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll let you know as soon as I do, but right now,
fair enough. Yeah,
I can't commit to it time.
Sounds good.
Nice try, Scott.
Yeah, I know. I gave it a shot, but you've shared quite a bit of alpha so far, so I figured I'd push the boundaries. But yeah, it's awesome. Lee, you took a nap?
Yeah, I've been patiently listening. I mean, everyone. Just to wrap up, everyone that deals in business in real life, we always look for a USP when we're in a competitive market. And I suppose if you transfer that over to a DEX and, multiple chains and multiple DEXs, when you've got a USP, it gives you that serious advantage and first mover advantage towards the market. And that's what creates mass adoption. When it's easy, it's clean to look at, it's secure, and just that little bit of added USP gives you that, little bit of polish on top of the trophy. So it sounds amazing. I'm looking forward to the article. It's a USP in this space where we think everything's already been done, I think is absolutely incredible. And the way it can be implemented into the SwapX ecosystem just gives us all another reason to sit back and think they've got our backs. So, top job, and we appreciate it big time.
Phenomenal. I don't know if there's anything else, BB, that you had to cover. I know we wanted, of course, to show the site and got a chance to mint the NFT. That was very cool. And I feel like you shared a lot of details about what's up and coming. Anything else you want to touch on? I want to make sure I give you plenty of opportunity to share as much as you wish.
No, I think, for today, I think we hit the key points. We've shared some new information. I think I don't want to touch on any other topics for today, but, in this week or in the next week, we're going to be dropping another big announcement. So that's going to be coming. Everybody should just keep an eye out for that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Sometime next week. I'm excited. Yeah. I know we had a little quiet time there for a little bit. None of us were worried. We're just ready for the launch, but all these little tidbits you can drop, one little piece of great info a week is awesome for us to get excited about. So that's very cool. Did you have a moment for some questions? I know some questions have been rolling in, and I think we'd maybe just keep it to a couple, but I didn't know if you had a few extra minutes just to answer a couple simple questions. I'll ask you one that came in. It's in regard to, and this is just hypothesizing, I guess this would just be what your initial thoughts are. Since Xlayer doesn't have a ton of transaction volume on it, once we get this thing launched and everything's operational, what type of transaction volume do you expect for us to be on Xlayer, like in a percentage? Do you think SwapX will be 20% of what Xlayer is doing out the gate because it's so new and exciting, or do you think we'll be a smaller entity of that? Basically, I think the question is just trying to ask: do you think we're going to be like the main player on Xlayer as far as people coming over to want to use the DEX?
Yeah. Okay. So I don't want to speculate on numbers or figures.
Sure.
But, we are in a position to be the main DEX on Xlayer. I mean, with the direct partnership that we have with OKX, and, the co-marketing and everything that we're going to be doing with them, I think definitely we're going to be the top DEX on Xlayer. That is our goal. That's the whole goal of the DEX. And I think we have all the pieces in place to achieve this. I mean, everything is just there. We have the community, we have the tech, we have the branding, we have the partnerships. I can't see why not. There's nothing that I can see why we wouldn't be top DEX on OKX on Xlayer.
Gotcha.
I totally agree.
Perfect.
And
that would make perfect sense
as well. He's bullish in it. We've got a big community that's willing to support us right out the gate, so that's awesome as well.
I think a lot of it too is, like you said, with the community, a lot of it's going to be trust, right? A lot of us, a new Xlayer, a new chain comes out. It may take you a little bit for you to trust the site and go run to it and start doing a lot of swaps and doing a lot of transactions. You may really come in slowly and dabble, do one transaction, make sure you got your funds or bridge one time. I think when you've got a community and the hype as big as the pre-sale was, you've got folks that are willing to go as soon as this thing launches. We're gonna go play with everything. We're gonna do some staking. We're gonna see what the liquidity pools are like, without fear, because we know that you and your team set it up, and we're all very trusting of the work that you do. So I think that is going to be super helpful, just to spike the volume and let people know right out the gate that this is the go-to DEX. So it's very cool.
Okay. Yep. Any other questions you guys want to get to?
That's the only one that I had. We had a few others that were just pretty simple that you covered in detail throughout the deal. So unless Lee had any other questions that were sent in to him, that's it for on my side.
A few of the questions have basically touched on what we've spoke about. So it's our job now to break it down and educate people and give our take on what you've said. Just a personal thank you from me, and obviously I know Scott and the community basically think the same. We appreciate everything that you've done, how hard you're working and trying to bring us something brand new in a very crowded space. And the Telegram as well, I want to touch on, just to say the mods and the admins in that Telegram and the way it's been, looked after. It's a credit to everyone how you've taken some tough times and brought us all back around full circle and centered us. So, it's my first time speaking with you personally. So I'd like to say thanks to you and the devs and the whole team. It's been a pleasure, and we're here to support you, mate. So top job.
Thank you very much, Lee. I mean, I appreciate that very much. And I also want to say thank you to you guys for being out there, for providing the support. And I mean, everybody in the community, I think everything has just been incredibly positive. And, we've been getting support everywhere we go. So, I mean, so far it's just been a really good experience, and the team also, Ricky especially, been doing a lot of the work, most of the work. He's really been doing an outstanding job. And, the mods, everybody in our team, everybody's just been working so hard on making this success. So yeah, we're looking forward to getting this out to you guys. I understand there's some impatience, everybody wants their tokens now, tomorrow. But like I described to you guys earlier, also in private, the timing has to be right. The timing has to be right, and we can't just launch just to get it out. I mean, that is not the point. The point is to launch a successful, fully functional product that will be sustainable over the long run and to become the top DEX on Xlayer. So yeah, I also want to thank everybody for their patience and for letting us work in getting this done.
Yeah, I think for the most part, from what I've seen, people have been very patient. I think I'll speak for myself and Lee. I mean, and I know everyone else out there. we really appreciate people who are doing things in DeFi for the right reasons. And so we're happy to wait to make sure it's correct, make sure it's fully functional. If this is going to be the DEX on Xlayer, it's got to be near flawless, because in the DeFi space, if anything just seems off or isn't connecting right, or it's just not working, people immediately go to worst case scenario, and it's a 5-alarm fire. So much better for you to take the extra time and make it super clean and launch while it's fully functional. Because I think what you're ultimately trying to do is you're trying to convert folks who are just in the normal crypto space, or people that are just barely getting into crypto this bull run, over to what a real DeFi user experience should be like. And if you're going to give them a really clunky process along the way, user adoption is going to be very, it's going to be slow and low, which is not what we want. We want this bull cycle, particularly for people to move over into the crypto and DeFi space and start to realize what it could be, what the potential is long term. So, while there's been some quote unquote delays, or, you guys are making sure everything's right, it's aligning very well with the bull market. So I really don't see too much of a downside to it. So, we appreciate you guys being real diligent with that. And, like Lee said, really happy that was able to have you let us host, and so we can enjoy this time together, get to know each other a little bit better, and rest assured we're going to make sure that we promote this thing as much as possible and get it out there. Because like I said, you're doing it for the right reasons, and this seems like it's going to be a platform that's going to blow everything else away. Yeah, definitely. And
I would just in conclusion, just want to touch again. It's also not just on our side regarding a launch date, right? We're working with, there's a lot of third-party infrastructure and partners that we're also dependent upon. So, it's like this symphony that we need to get right, and everybody has to do everything at the right time, So there's a whole, a big collaboration that has to happen at the right time, in the right order. So, but we're still looking very forward to this. And thank you guys for coming and having a chat and, putting the work into the project.
Thank you, bro.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Okay, we'll close it out here. Again, I super appreciate it. Lady Mania, Ricky, BB, yourself, Lee, thank you guys all for joining this. We will wrap this all up. We'll throw it in a YouTube video and get it out, so anyone who missed it can watch it on there, check out the screenshots and everything, watch it be mint and NFT. So all this is going to be available. Give us 45 minutes to an hour to get that uploaded and live.
Super.
All right. Okay. Thank you, guys. Lee, I love that shirt. That is so cool.
I knew you'd like that.
That's really cool.
Love it.
All right, guys. Good night. And
good night. Thanks, guys.
Talk soon. Goodbye, everybody.
Sounds good.
Good night.
Thank you all. Take care.
All right. Thank you. Good night. Bye.